In days when men were humble enough to know what they were and what they were not, what they knew and what they did not, the ignoramus knew his place. Whatever arrogance existed was the province of those who are at least nominally scholars. And so while ignorance and arrogance are both attributes to be shunned, their separation was at least a small favor for which to be grateful. But times have changed, and we are today victims of the ultimate curse, the arrogance of ignorance. The unabashed and haughty readiness to display one's abysmal and absurd ignorance before people and congregation is the symbol of our wretched times. My name's Howard Riell, and this is Real Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, at RealTruth.com, and the book Real Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number 877-254-7524. My friends, welcome back. That quote coming from the late, great Rabbi Meir Kahana. It speaks volumes to what's happening in this country today. Item from the Daily Mail. How one open gate let knife maniac in to kill. Police facing serious questions over how knife-wielding terrorist was able to enter parliamentary estate. Police facing criticism after knife man stabbed or killed officer on the grounds. There were unverified claims no one was on duty on the gate when he entered. Labour Member of Parliament Mary Cree urged authorities to step up security following the attack. Former Forces Commander Richard Kemp said incident shows complacency. Stop. An open gate led to tragedy. That's how precarious our safety and security are. An open gate leads to this, and so, what's the logical lesson? Well, my friends, the logical lesson is one that we shrink from. We're afraid of it. We run from it. The logical lesson is no Muslims, no Muslim violence. No Islam, no Islamic terror. The simplicity is stunning. And the ignorance, the avoidance, the silence are chilling. As long as we, the American people, and our leaders run away from the obvious logical solution to terrorism, terrorism will continue. It's Thursday, and it's Real Truth. Be right back.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
The associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter Lafayette remind no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women put the bill for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival.
Guys, welcome back to Real Truth. Lots of lessons to learn from yesterday's attack in London. Item from Reuters. Lesson number 1. A man who tried to drive at high speed into a shopping district in the Belgian city of Antwerp on Thursday, that was earlier today, was a French national living in France with knives and other weapons in his car, prosecutors said. A French national. Well, that really tells us a lot. What it tells us is that Reuters doesn't want you to know the guy was a Muslim. And so Reuters will lie to us. Lie, a sin of omission. They're hiding the truth. Related item from the Daily Mail Online. A French Muslim has been arrested after trying to drive a car loaded with liquid gas, assault rifles, and knives into a crowd at high speed on a busy shopping street in Antwerp. Stop. At least give the Daily Mail Online credit. They call him a Muslim. Belgian police, who confirmed more security personnel had been sent to the area, said the car was being driven at high speed and pedestrians had to jump out of the way to avoid being injured. In the car, authorities said they found knives, a shotgun, and a gas can with an unknown liquid, and the case has now been taken over by officers who usually deal with extremist attacks, unquote. So, my friends, you got a Muslim in a car trying to kill people. Obviously, the solution is to ban cars. Right? Related item from InfoWars. A British lawmaker laughably suggested the religion of the Islamic jihadists who carried out a terror attack is, quote, utterly and completely irrelevant, unquote. Lord Digby Jones, a crossbencher in the House of Lords, hope that doesn't mean what I think it means, made the comment in response to a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. criticizing past comments from London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who suggested terror attacks are part and parcel of living in a big city. You're safer in London than you've ever been, Jones said. If this turns out to be an act of Islamic terrorism, I think the fact that the man is a Muslim is utterly and completely irrelevant, unquote. No, Lord Jones, you are utterly and completely irrelevant. In a world trying to stave off disaster, trying to beat back Islamic jihad, trying to restore safety and sanity, you, a cross-dresser, a crossbencher in the House of Lords, you are irrelevant. You are nothing? No. You're worse than nothing. You are an obstacle on the road to security, Lord Digby. Related item from InfoWars. Viewers of Al Jazeera reportedly reacted to the London terror attack, quote, with joy. Breaking 911 shared a screenshot showing viewers to their live stream on Facebook were spamming smiling emojis and thumbs up. In other words, my friends, Al Jazeera had this picture of that street in London where there were bodies laying all over, and Al Jazeera viewers, Muslims, were putting smile faces on the screen. So you can yammer all you want about open-mindedness, inclusiveness, diversity. Islam is at war with the human race, has been for 14 centuries, and the evidence is everywhere around us. You may be in denial. You may be too PC to do anything, but I am not. I'm doing my best to save the West from the coming, the emerging, the evolving, the expanding jihad. And if you don't want to help, then you also, like Lord Digby, are irrelevant. Let's get a couple minutes of Tucker Carlson with Nigel Farage in England talking about the attack yesterday. Go. They sent out search parties for immigrants. They wanted to bring immigrants to England. Great! They did! And see what fruit it has borne. My friends, there are immigrants and there are immigrants. There are immigrants from the first world who come with education, skills, civilization, hopes, aspirations. Then you've got immigrants from the third world who come with their hands out, with no knowledge, no education, no skills. They want, and by the way, if you don't give it to them, they'll brutalize you because that's how they live in the third world. What kind of a fool invites those people into his country? Well, my friends, I'm no fool. I'm betting you're not either. And those kind of third world immigrants we don't need, we don't want, and we can't survive. It's got to stop. It's got to stop now. We'll take a break and we'll be back. It's Real Truth, my friends, on Thursday. Serious business today. Go nowhere.
Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminded me over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo. This the uniform people in Greeley. Police, firefighters, EMT, work in our thanks for doing a great job. To live up, we realize call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. The uniform people in Greeley.
My friends, welcome back to Real Truth. Sean Hannity on Fox News was talking about Trump surveillance and what was going on in England. Lots of news to talk about yesterday. Sean Hannity is the man to talk to us about it. Here we go. Correction, Sean, correction. Not in the name of ISIS. They slit the priest's throat in the name of Islam. Get it right. In the name of Allah. Get it right, because it matters. Let's go back to Sean. My friends, here's what bothers me. The problem, once again, Islamization. Excuse me? The problem is Islam, not Islamization. The problem is Islam. Get it right. Sean, I expect you to know more than that. Back to Hannity. Sean, I got to disagree with you. You can vet as extremely as you wish. You can build that wall and make Mexico pay for it. You can take all the steps that you're discussing. As long as there are Muslims in the country, there will be terror. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We won't all admit it. At this point, very, very, very few of us will admit it. Wait. The more tragedies that occur, the more people will come to the same conclusion. It is inevitable. Back to Hannity and Gorka. Excuse me, but that's not the priority. With all due respect, gentlemen, the priority is to make us safer while protecting the religious freedom of Muslims. One little problem with that, and I'll mention it in passing. I don't even want to take your time up, but Islam is not a religion. Islam's a cult, not a religion. As such, it's entitled to none of the constitutional protections that we extend to religions. Don't believe me? Go online, go on YouTube, and listen to Muslims themselves, in many cases former Muslims, who lived Islam, who were born into Islam. They will tell you firsthand that Islam, no, is not a religion. It's a cult. It's a death cult. And the last I checked, and asked David Koresh about this, the Branch Davidians in Waco, cults are not allowed to enjoy freedom of religion. Back to Gorka. Yeah, excuse me, Sean, it won't be under better circumstances as long as we don't take serious, I said serious action to prevent terrorism. Thus far, we're just playing games. Item from Bloomberg. Detroit was once known as a city where a working-class family could afford to own a home. Now it's a city of renters. Just 49% of Motor City households were homeowners in 2015, down from 55% in 2009 and the lowest percentage in more than 50 years. 52% of the 100 largest U.S. cities were majority renter in 2015, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, with data compiled for Bloomberg by real estate brokerage Redfin. 21 of those cities have shifted to renter domination since 2009. These include such hot housing markets as Denver, San Diego, and lukewarm locales such as Detroit and Baltimore, better known for vacant homes and residential developments, unquote. My friends, fewer people, in fact, by the way, including myself, fewer people are buying and choosing to rent instead. Who needs the headaches of owning? Who needs the extra expense of ownership? I've owned 2 houses in my life. That's plenty. Item from CBS Dateline Chicago. Robert Decaleda cheated the immigration system like a well-oiled machine, the feds say. When he found a client seeking asylum in the United States, typically from Iraq, the suburban attorney would quickly forge that person's name on an application and pepper the person's life story with horrific hardships, including kidnappings, bombings, and religious persecutions, all false. He drew inspiration from news articles he collected. Then prosecutors say he would employ a team of co-conspirators to help him forge documents, even allegedly bribing an immigration prosecutor to usher the applicant through the asylum process. He fancied himself a, quote, Robin Hood of refugees, they said. But Robin Hood was an outlaw. And nearly a year after Decoleta's own criminal conviction, U.S. District Court Matthew Kennelly sentenced him to 15 months in prison on yesterday. The judge noted that even if Decoleta chose to break the law out of noble intentions, quote, you have to be willing to pay the price for it, unquote. We'll take a break and we'll be back, my friends. Real Truth does what it always does. It continues.
R&R Supply Incorporated, Fort Collins reminds listeners, every day our troops demonstrate their dedication to our nation. Now is the time for us to return the favor. Hire our returning veterans, as well as those who have served in the past. After investing their lives in our nation, they deserve our investment. This message is from R&R Supply Incorporated in Fort Collins, and they're on the air, reminding all of us that our freedom has never been free.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, in the bosom of the Father, he has married. Of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
We, people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution.
Elizabeth Lockerplan and Elizabeth reminds our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's from Elizabeth Lockerplant, located at 366 Grant Street in Elizabeth, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized aged beef and pork and complete custom processing. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival.
The associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter in Lafayette remind you, no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families foot the bill for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
All right, guys, let's continue. InfoWars. Roger Stone is a guest on the show. They're talking about the sinister plots being perpetrated, and you see them being played out in the news every day against Donald Trump and ultimately against the American people. Here we go. which means that we conspiracy whackballs have been right all along. Item from Breitbart. The Prime Minister has said the Islamist attack on Parliament was not Islamic and that Islam is a great faith. Taking on the role of theologian, Theresa May, Prime Minister of England, said, quote, "It's wrong to describe this as as Islamic terrorism. It is Islamist terrorism. It is a perversion of a great faith," unquote. Prime Minister May, your head is up your ass. Very hard to see what's coming on the road ahead when your head is up your ass. But Miss May, your head, I think I may have mentioned this already, is up your ass. Which means there will be more terrorism in England. We'll be back.
I'm here with the DuPont Pioneer team. So tell us, what are you bringing to the table to help producers manage feed costs?
Feed management is always on a producer's mind.
It sure is. So we take a whole operation approach to help them maximize feed value.
By combining the right products with our expertise and services, we can help producers improve profitability.
It's big picture thinking for big time production.
So work with your DuPont Pioneer team to get the most out of every bite. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
This is the uniformed people in Greeley, police, firefighters, 9/11 work in our community. We thank them for doing a great job keeping our area a place to live, shop, and raise a family. We realize their job is dangerous, sometimes dangerous. This message is from Sickness Uniformed People in Greeley. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. And one of the fire source in America. Census, the uniformed people in Greeley.
My friends, it's do or die day today. Do or die for what they're calling Ryan Care, the repeal and replace of Obamacare. The vote is happening tonight. Here's Rush Limbaugh interviewing our Vice President, Mike Pence. Go. All right, and guys, I'm just seeing news coming across right now on the internet. House leaders delayed a scheduled, as a vote on their embattled health care bill as conservatives mulled a deal proposed by the Trump administration aimed at winning Republican holdouts' support. The House had been planning to hold a vote Thursday, today, but a senior GOP aide said that will be delayed. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders said the White House expects the bill will pass Friday morning. So apparently, if this news report is true, then the vote won't happen today. They're still twisting arms. They're still tweaking the legislation. Now remember, the repeal and replace takes place over 3 stages. This is the first stage. From here, once the House approves it, it goes to the Senate where they can make further revisions and changes. So this is not the final bill that will go to the president's desk. This is what they're cobbling together. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. What I do know is this. I trust the Trump administration. If they say this is the best, that can be passed now, I believe them. So I hope when the vote comes up tomorrow, it will be passed and we can go forward. And don't forget where Obamacare came from. Came from the Democrats. That's the fire-breathing nuclear monster we're trying to destroy. Remember it the next time you go to the polls to vote in any election. Remember who brought America this flaming monstrosity. It was the Democrats, who will not vote against it even today. We'll be back and we'll wrap it up. More Real Truth.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section
10. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver is not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo. Elizabeth Locker Plan and Elizabeth reminds our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's from Elizabeth Locker Plant, located at 366 Grant Street in Elizabeth, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized aged beef and pork and complete custom processing. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240.
Guys, welcome back to Real Truth. Item from Breitbart. The danger posed to police in the notorious Swedish no-go zone of Rinkeby will likely mean they will not be allowed to use public transportation to get to work and may have to be driven to the station daily for their personal safety. The heavily migrant-populated Stockholm suburb of Rinkeby in Sweden is often cited as a textbook example of a no-go zone where police are constantly under threat of attack from residents. To deal with the danger, the police have planned a new fortified police station, but police are at such risk it may not be safe for them to take public transportation to work. Unquote. My friends, can you imagine police in Denver being so scared of entering a no-go zone that they can't take public transportation? They need armed guards to ferry them to the local police station. I'm sorry, did I say Denver? I meant Sweden. It won't be like that in Denver for several years. Item from Breitbart. Citing investigative reporting by the Government Accountability Institute and advanced reporting by the Daily Caller News Foundation's investigative group, Representative Louis Gohmert is calling for a congressional investigation into the connection between Hillary Clinton's former campaign chairman John Podesta and Russia. Podesta sat on the board of the Putin-connected energy company alongside Russian officials who received $35 million from a Putin-linked Russian government fund, Breitbart News reported last August, as revealed in the 56-page GAI report titled From Russia with Money, Hillary Clinton, the Russian Reset, and Cronyism, unquote. My friends, everybody's screaming about Trump and Russia when there is no connection. But no one is screaming about Clinton and Podesta when there very obviously is a connection. Don't forget, Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State and had to approve the deal in which the United States sent 1/5 of its uranium store, 20% of our uranium, to Russia. What's that, you say? Yes, uranium as in the stuff they use to make nuclear weapons. Item from the Associated Press, Dateline, Berlin, Germany. Germany's media regulator has revised its code of conduct on reporting whether crime suspects belong to an ethnic or religious minority after complaints the previous guidance was unclear. The German Press Council, a voluntary industry-run body, says information about a person's ethnicity shouldn't be published, quote, unless there's a justified public interest in doing so, unquote. For example, if someone commits an act of jihad, it might be worth our while to point out that he's a Muslim, because members of that cult called Islam are dangerous people and shouldn't be here. So thank God we still have a remnant of free speech left in the United States of America. Over in Europe, it's just about gone. Just about gone. It's like trying to drive a car with your eyes closed. Item from the Economic Collapse blog. More than 3,500 retail stores are going to close all across America over the next few months as the worst retail downturn in U.S. history gets even deeper, unquote. My friends, all together, thank you, Democrats. Thank you, former President Obama. Thank you, liberals, for decimating our economy. Now it's up to the Trump administration to try and resurrect the dying and breathe new life into our economy. Well, for a guy who's been on the job only 2 months, he's doing a damn good job of it. Let's help him continue to succeed. I'll be back on Monday with more real truth, my friends. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry.